siblings of narcissists, psychopaths, or sociopaths? What is your experience? Story 1. When I was 10, my mom put a lock on my door because my brother started threatening to unalive me and my mom in the night. When I was 14, he fixated on my mom and threatened to burn down our house, unalive my whole family, steal all the valuables, and drive away. That same year, he was 17. He took our car and ran away from home for 2 weeks. We ended up calling the police on him. When he came home, the police decided that it would be best if he lived somewhere else. So he did. As we were cleaning out his room, we found hundreds of sharp objects, a long-distance hole puncher, lighter fluid, gasoline, and lighters. Story 2. I was playing with a suitcase while watching TV. I was small enough to fit myself in it. My brother, nearly 4.5 years older than me, saw what I was doing and asked to zip me up in it. After already having learned to never trust him, I asked Mom to watch us to make sure he didn't do anything stupid. He zipped me up inside the suitcase and started carrying it in a shuffle step. I heard the sliding door to the enclosed patio open. Mom started screaming and I could hear her slapping my brother repeatedly. The suitcase fell over onto its side with me still in it. I managed to pry open the zippers from the inside and got myself out of the suitcase as quickly as possible. Mom was still slapping at my brother, screaming, "Why?" I was 2 feet away from being dumped inside a suitcase into the family hot tub. He laughed and said that I would have floated. What's the big deal? So yeah, that's what it was like growing up with a sociopath. Story 3. My daughter was hit by a drunk driver when she was 12 and nearly passed away. She was in a coma for 2 weeks and I was there all day every day, except to go home to shower and change. My sister decided that when I was at the hospital was the perfect time for her and her addicted girlfriend to jimmy the sliding door off the truck, break in, and steal everything she could find. Jewelry, my camera, and yes, my daughter's piggy bank. The witch stole the piggy bank from a comatose kid. Story 4. My sister has never been diagnosed with narcissism or a personality disorder other than OCD. But when we were younger, she often enjoyed telling people before I met them that I had a difficult relationship with the truth, so that they wouldn't want to be around me. I had the reputation of a liar and no friends for most of my preteen years. And she was popular in our homeschool group until she left and got into high school. After she left, I still didn't have friends, but neither did she, and she blamed me for it. During her frequent temper tantrums, she would throw things, scream, cry, and threaten me with kitchen sharp objects on a pretty regular basis. All of a sudden, the year that I turned 17 and she turned 21, the tantrum stopped and she got engaged. He moved in with us. The tantrum started again, and for once, I wasn't the target. The worst fight they had happened when she caught him looking at a photo of a bikini model, which she considered cheating. She hit him full force with an open palm, and when her mom saw it, she threatened to kick her out if she hit him again. They got married, moved out, and divorced within a year of him enlisting in the army. Story 5. When she threw a cup of hot tea at my face because I refused to show her something on the computer, or the time when she yelled at me for over an hour because I was really sick and had thrown up all over the bathroom sink, the same bathroom she had just cleaned. I stopped speaking with her over 7 years ago. Story 6. Lived an entire lifetime not being aware that it isn't normal to run to your bedroom and hide when dad gets home, that it isn't normal to be scared of your parents' reactions to, well, anything. Becoming a mom and having little kids that I just looked at and knew I could never beat them up for picking up a flower or shame them for not knowing how to hang a shelf, or throw stuff at them if they come outside, or throw potato salad at them if they say they don't want any. Yeah, it wasn't normal, and only just now am I realizing all of that. Story 7. I haven't spoken to my brother in 3 to 4 years. Last time I did, he went after my wife, and that was the last straw for me. Since then, my parents have cut him off. He lost his job, and his life has spiraled. Not sure what he is up to now, but my quality of life has improved with him not in it. Story 8. They're insane, and always mad about something petty. Somehow everything is related to their projected social image, regardless of context or content. Story 9. You feel your life isn't your own. Everything will revolve around them, constantly causing drama and trouble. Sister who would steal from you. It's a never-ending drama. Tried to steal my boyfriend repeatedly. Actually broke into one sister's house and stole from her. Can't tell the truth ever. Disowned her about 10 years ago after her awful treatment of a terminally ill mother. Peace since then. Story 10. Older brother. Highly narcissistic. Same with my mother. Verbally cruel and manipulative, and always project blame onto others, never acknowledging their own behavior. I do not speak with either of them. My brother for over 5 years, and my mother for over a year. Story 11. It's always difficult to share my problems with them, because they also had the same problem at some stage of their life. And it was much harder for them than that is for me apparently. Story 12. Mom, narcissist. Dad, alcoholic. Possible narc. Self-centered coward. Brother, golden child. Me, family scapegoat. Still working through the BS and healing at age 57. It can be done. Story 13. I'm not even totally sure of my older brother's diagnosis, but several years ago I found out through his journal that he had an elaborate plan to unalive me and had apparently attempted to before, but couldn't go through with it. His reasoning was mostly because I was mean to him as a child, but really, he was the one cruel to me. The part that really messes me up is that both my parents knew about his wish to unalive me and never said anything to me. Let us sleep under the same roof. They always coddled and treated him differently than me. He is severely mentally ill, likely a psychopath. Has been in a mental hospital now for several years. I cut contact with my parents as soon as I moved out. Story 14. My sibling is not a sociopath or psychopath, but is narcissistic with extreme anger issues. He would intentionally start arguments. The slightest response from me would be his excuse to go mental. The worst was once when he choked me after I tried to defend myself, but only stopped because I threatened to call the cops. Later, my dad sided with him, saying I shouldn't have made my brother angry, and that if I did call the cops, they would laugh at me and would do nothing. That's idiotic, obviously. Bear in mind my brother was 6'1" and athletic, while I was a skinny 5'4" teenager that was 5 years younger. I am now an adult and in the military, and don't plan on talking to either of them much after I leave. Needless to say, if he ever tries something like that again, he will be lucky if he isn't hospitalized. Count on it. Story 15. My dad is a sociopath. He raised me. It's very difficult to have basic friendships and relationships and hold a job. The way I was raised is extremely unconventional, leading me to not react to normal situations as a typical person would. Story 16. I don't know if this counts, but my 6-year-old brother, he was 6 when this happened, once asked my mom if he could have some of her fries. She said yes and asked why. He replied with, "So I can unalive some seagulls." She asked how would he do that, and he replied with, "So I can bait them and then unalive them with rocks." My mom also asked why he would do that, and his answer was, because I don't play enough Fortnite. Another time, my friend accidentally stepped on my dog's paw and was like, "Oh god, I'm so sorry," and etc. Then my brother from the other room yelled, "I wish I could break the dog's paw." He's done other things like talk about how he wouldn't miss me if I was gone and such. I've also had nightmares about him, unaliving everyone I know, like family, pets, and friends. Story 17. I'm not old enough to block him out of my life. He is abusive and autistic, and has an orderly known as Asperger. He shows every warning sign of neon, a sociopath, and he threatens to unalive me every day. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and activate the bell button to receive notifications to my latest videos.